All right. Hi, everybody. Craig Sheffield back. Gonna do another Try Hack Me room. The reason why I'm making this one today is because I really struggle with this. Probably spent over an hour um, going through it and just having some issues not seeing the connections and ports that they wanted me to see. So connect with me on LinkedIn, or you can find me on GitHub at Ideafield Pro. But let's get to it. All right, so this room here, Snort Challenge, live attacks, says put your Snort skills into practice and defend against a live attack. You can see I already have the box open here, and I have already done a little bit of this work, but I'm going to walk back through it here. So it gives you a little rundown at the beginning. I'll let you read that on your own. Let's jump down to the first scenario, and basically just tells you about this coffee shop, and then gives you this AI Java person who is telling you what's going on, and it says we have a brute force attack going on. So you need to observe the traffic with Snort and identify the anomaly first. Then you can create a rule to stop the brute force attack. Good luck. All right, so here we go. This is really the meat and potatoes. It says, first of all, start Snort in sniffer mode and try to figure out the attack source, service, and port. So let's go into our terminal and open that up. And if you're not aware, you can go ahead and look at the cheat sheet, right? This is one resource that TryHackMe gives you. And to run in sniffer mode, you can do something extremely easy. Snort and then -v. That's probably the easiest way to do it. And then if you just want to look at a certain number of packets, you can do the -n with the number of packets followed after that. Another great resource, which we will be returning back to later, is the Snort, the main Snort room in TryHackMe, and the thing that we're going to be referring back to is Task 7. These rules are what we need to stop the brute force attack. And you can see if you scroll down here far enough, it's giving you the drop packets here, and this is what we'll need later. So both of those resources are very helpful in this room, but let's get back here to Snort and run in sniffer mode. Now don't forget to run sudo, right, and then Snort, and let's use verbose mode, and maybe let's just pop it out to the console looking at, let's see, 100. All right, so let's go up here and just peruse. Okay, so we are looking for signs of a brute force attack. Now let's see if we see anything strange going on. We definitely see lots of this 444 connections on port 444. That appears to be the only thing we're seeing. And it's definitely the number is standing out to me the most, along with that port 54306. yeah, out of all these packets, those two numbers are looking extremely suspicious. But I think this might be another issue where because I've completed some of the tasks, they're now changing what's going on. So I think I might need to restart. And this is actually one thing that I had to do previously, is restart the machine. So I'm going to terminate this machine because I'm not seeing the results that I need. So go ahead and terminate. Close it down here. We'll expand this window out. And let's start the machine back up. This was the issue I kind of ran into the first time around, where I completed scenario 1, but trying to run scenario 2, I was not seeing the answer. Basically, the connections weren't being made; they weren't being logged, and I don't know if it was some of the configurations or something that I changed, or it was just an issue on the back end with TryHackMe, because I did terminate the machine and then loaded it up again, and then I saw the connections that they were asking me to see. So don't worry if this happens to you. You're not alone. Okay. Let's go ahead and while this is loading up, look at the hint that it was telling you. And this is actually telling you that IPS mode and dropping packs is covered in the main Snort room task 7, which is what I showed you previously, if you remember, this room here. There's lots of other great stuff in here, of course, but the main part is in task 7, where it says IPS mode and dropping packets. Right, this command right here will be essential for us. Just to tell you a little bit about some of those things that we're going to be looking at. Let's see here. We will need to create a new rule after this is loaded up. Almost there now. And to create new rules, we need to go and open the local.rules file and add the rule after we know what we're really looking for. Okay. Hopefully this reboot of the machine will resolve the issue that we were just facing. It also wiped the files that I had there, so yeah, clean slate. Probably best all around. All right, let's get back to it. Let's go ahead and make you big. And let's try that same snort. Sudo snort. Remember? Here, do you remember? It says, oh, your machine is under a brute force attack. Check the incoming traffic and create a snort rule. Okay, I will. Let's go ahead with verbose mode. And we're just going to push it to the console, so we don't need anything, but I'm just going to look at the first 100 packets. Yeah, I don't even think we need 100 packets. Let's just say 50. All right, here we go. This looks better. So just in 50 packets, let's see if we get different results now that we've rebooted the machine. And indeed, this looks quite different. If you recall, before we were seeing a lot of port 4444 and 53,000 something. Now we're noticing more of these 1010 140 29 going to port 22, which is SSH, if you recall. And then connected to this 46856. Okay. So this is coming in, you can see relatively quickly. We have this like call and response here. And the first one happens here, 5609 3036. And then we have another one, 5609 3330. Right, so they're coming in really quickly, which is an indicator of a brute force attack. So let's just go ahead and jump to a little bit of a guess and say this is probably not a good scenario. So let's look for our rules, and we're going to do sudo again. I'm going to use nano to edit. We need to go to the Etsy folder, snort, and rules. And then we're looking for local.rules. So this is the file that we can add our own rules to. Excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and give it a little name here to help myself remember. And this was going to be to block SSH brute force. And now I'd like to drop the packets. And if you recall, they were TCP connections. I could go back and look at that, but just trust me on that. Okay. And then we're from any port. So any IP, any port, and going out to any IP and 22. Okay. Let's see here. Now for the end of this rule, let me pull up my cheat sheet, written down my rules here for this. We need to, in all of our snort rules, we're going to give ourselves a message so we know what this is for. So this one we're going to say SSH brute force attempt. Give our colon, and then we're going to say SID 10,000, sorry, 100,000 and 1. And then revision number 1, colon, and that, sorry, semicolon. And let's close it just like that. And we'll go ahead and save it. So Control X, say yes, and hit enter, return. And that should save our rule. So it says create the rule and test it with -a console mode. All right, let's try this. So sudo snort, give the configuration file is located in etc snort, and then snort.conf. All right, and then we're going to use this -A and then console to test this. Okay. Initialization complete. This looks like everything's running. Okay. All right. Let's exit out of this with Control C. All right, great. So we can see that this was successful. Now, use -A full mode. And you can see right here, it says use the -A full mode and the default log path to stop the attack. Okay, this is where we need to go back to the snort page, and I'm going to copy this here. This big long rule says sudo snort our configuration file dash small q dash big Q dash dash DAQ AFPAC dash I. The interface, there needs two interfaces here, and dash capital A, and then it says console at the end. We're going to change that because it does say to use dash A full. So let's paste that in, and then at the end, let's erase console and run full. Now, if you'll notice, it says write the correct rule and run the snort in IPS-A full mode, which is what we're doing right now. It says block the traffic at least for a minute. So you need to let this run. It's blocking traffic currently based on the rule that we just wrote. You just saw me write. And that was blocking the SSH connections. If this is successful, you'll see this little symbol come up. You have successfully stopped the attack. All right, excellent. Now, to find that file, we can do a couple of things. We can use the console here, or you can just navigate. I'm going to exit out of this, Control C again. And I'm just going to use the file manager here, because I don't really like typing everything out. All right, and you can see that it's dropped this flag file here. And if we open up the flag, close your eyes here, or breeze past this part if you don't want the spoiler for this particular room. But I'm going to go ahead and open it up, select all, copy it, and paste it over here, submit. All right. Success. Excellent. So now we've got that. Let's go back, and we can scroll back up, and we can still look at the output here. If we go way up here. Sorry, this is not the most efficient way to do it, but just bear with me for a second again. And after we get past this information here, there we go. All right, we're back to that output. If you'll notice the port 22 connections, we can see that they are TCP connections. So what is the name of the service under attack? Of course, the service under attack is SSH. And then, hello? Why won't it submit? Well, there we go. Okay. What is the use protocol and port in the attack? So the protocol will be TCP, not SSH. And then our port, of course, is 22 for SSH. We hit submit again. Hopefully it'll let me do it. Allow. Go. Wow. Okay, running real slow now. But anyway, we did successfully get it. So let's see if they will let us move on to scenario 2. So in scenario 2, it says, yes, sir, outbound traffic investigation has begun. We need to start looking at outbound because we haven't investigated the outbound traffic yet. Okay, so we've stopped some inbound access attempts. So we didn't let the bad guys get in. So now we need to look to see if there are any outbound things going on. So it says, sir, persistent outbound traffic is detected, possibly a reverse shell. So now, sir, you need to observe the traffic with Snort and identify the anomaly first. Then you can create a rule to stop the reverse shell. Good luck. All right, so here we go again. Same types of things. We need to first, sniff the traffic that's going on. So let's get down here. Mac, I'm going to clear out all of these things. And let's do sudo snort verbose mode. Let's go ahead and look at let's do 50 again and see if that'll work for us. And you know what? This time let's push it out to a log file, and let's go with where we are right now. Let's go with desktop. Let's see if you'll let me push it out there. All right, excellent. So we go back in the desktop, from file manager, you can see this snort log file is right here. And we can, if we scroll up, we won't see the output here, so we'll have to open up the log file. If you prefer to do it this way, maybe this is easier for you, I don't know. So we'll need to open that. So let's go ahead and do sudo snort, and then we're going to read the inside of desktop, and snort, our snort file is there. All right, and I'm not going to use any flags here. I'm just going to let it read that file, see what we get. All right, looks similar, right? But if we scroll up, we can see the different things that are going on. And this looks like I've recreated the issue from before. You notice that whenever I first loaded the machine up, I saw these 4444 connections, right? But now we don't see that, and we're only seeing these SSH connections here. So it's a little bit of a conundrum. I don't understand why, if somebody knows why I'm having this issue in this room, perhaps TryHackMe can help me, or just someone else that has seen this before, or if it's just me, I don't know. But yeah, we're looking at the same things pretty much. Let's run it in console. Let's get even more. Let's just do sudo snort verbose. Let's look at 100 packets and just push it out to the console here. All right, there's 100 packets I'm looking at, and looks very similar, right? See some port 80, some 34 and 916. But I tell you, this will not help me answer the questions that are here, and it won't help me write the rule. So I think maybe there's a problem with the room. And really the only way I know how to resolve it, because I did try to troubleshoot and just get rid of my rule, thinking that maybe because my rule is dropping this traffic, but it shouldn't affect the logging, so I'm really at a loss at how to get around this issue here. The only way I know how to get through it is to terminate the machine once again, which is quite annoying. All right, great. Now let's start the machine back up. And we're basically going to go back through the same things that we did previously. If you recall, that was running Snort in sniffer mode and looking at all of the logs, determining what looks suspicious, and then creating a rule back in the local.rules file. And we can just add that rule at the bottom. And then after we save that file and test it out, we can use the same command back from this main Snort page here, this long command with the DAQ AF packet command, and at the end we'll have to change that to full again, just as it's telling us here. Right? So thanks for bearing with me through this room. This is exactly why it took me so long to do this. So hopefully by you being here and witnessing the hassle, if you've struggled through this, or if you are currently, you know, or you haven't experienced this issue, just know that we're all doing the same thing, and it just takes a little bit of patience and time. But once again, please do connect with me on, LinkedIn, and then, like I said, github.com. If you go to Idea Field Pro, you can see more information, some of the projects that I've completed. Did a couple of write-ups with the recent certificate I got through anti-siphon training with John Strand. Really great. They do some pay what you can classes, and offering some really good material. So I do recommend that, and go and check out those write-ups if you'd like. Look on my LinkedIn. You can see more information there about that particular certificate. And also, I do twice a month, I run a study session through Station X. I believe anyone can access the recordings. If you're interested in looking at those recordings for the study sessions for the CISA Plus SOC operations, then just add a message or send me a message through one of the platforms, and I will try to get you that. All right, we're nearly there, and hopefully this will work. No idea. All right, let's get back to our terminal. Yay. We're going to expand it. Here we go. Say it with me now. Sudo snort -v. I'm going to go ahead and do 100 packets again to the console. Let's see what happens. All right, we got 100 packets. And look at that. It looks completely different. Right? Now, just like I started the video, we see this 4444 reoccurring, like just back to back to back. It's just blatantly obvious that this is suspicious. Right? If we did a search for what uses port 4444, let's just see what DuckDuckGo here got. The assist says port 4444 is commonly used by the Metasploit framework for penetration testing. Okay, so right away we can see that's not good. So let's go down, and we're going to add to our rules. Now remember, to add to our rules, we're gonna I'm gonna use nano. And where is that local files rule? It's in etc snort rules, and then local.rules. Let's see, did I nail it? There we go. And my previous rule is gone because I did trash the machine. Well, I mean, I didn't trash it. I just deleted it. But, you know. All right, so this one's going to be block reverse shell. Now, again, we're going to say drop. And we got that TCP traffic again. TCP any. I'm going to say port 4444. Okay, going either way. Any, again, for the IP, and any port on this side. Now, for this one, our message, I'm just going to put reverse shell. Block. Okay. Semicolon. SID. Previously, I had 100,001. I would normally, if I were adding this to the list, I'd put 100,002. Whoops, I think I added too many zeros there. Not that it matters. 100,002, right? Revision 1, semicolon, comma to close out that, and then Control X, Y for yes, and then go ahead and enter for that. All right, now it says create the rule and test it with -a console mode. All right, so let's do sudo snort, and our configuration file is dc snort, and then snort .conf. All right, and let's do a console. Let's see what we get here. Looks similar to before. Visualization complete. That looks good. All right, use -a full mode and the default log path to stop the attack. All right, so once we've written the rule, which we already did, we block the traffic at least for a minute again. So this is something that we need this same command. Copy. Paste this dude. Oops, sorry, I need to stop what's going on. There we go. All right, now I can paste you and delete console at the end here and say full. And just let that do its magic. We can go ahead and answer the last questions here. It says, what is the, oh, look, didn't take so long. What is the use protocol port and the attack? So protocol was TCP, and our port was 4444. Yes, sir. And then which tool is highly associated with this specific port number? We already know that was Metasploit. We looked that up just because we were curious. And then our flag, hopefully we can go find that in our file manager. Could look at it in the console, but I'm just going to do it the old boring way. Right here. Open. Close your eyes if you don't want the answer here. And copy and paste this guy. And that should be correct if it'll let me submit. All right. All right, guys. Wow. Yeah, so same issues as before. It takes a bit, but if you just trash the machine and reboot it, you should be able to do the 2 different scenarios, but it appears that you have to do them separately. It doesn't like you to do them back to back. All right, hope that helps everybody, and I will see you next time. All right.